you cannot find it in the area. It's called Total Wine, and it's pretty damn cool.
Hello, folks. Tonight we're joined by William Kepley in North Carolina, the brew dude Jose out in California, and Bill is going to leave and then he's going to come back because he couldn't find the limon.
Have fun, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I did invite other people, but they said the idea of drinking beer with tomato juice is disgusting to them. All right. This is the last of the manufactured ones that we're going to do because I'm not aware of any others. This is the Bud Light. And one thing I noticed about this one, the Bud Light and Clamato Extra Lime, I guess it's been out for about 2 years now. They're using the old Bud Light logo, you know, the one that's no longer shown on the Bud Light can. I noticed that the last couple of times and I didn't mention it, you know, with the little swishes or whatever that's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it's got a glass similar to this one. This one's dimpled. And it's a Bud Light beer with natural flavors and certified color.
So they probably added a little color to change it up. Maybe gave it that vibrant red.
Yeah. 4.2% alcohol per 12-ounce can. 157 calories per 12-ounce can. Do not shake. Rotate gently to mix. My date is kind of old. The 230th day of 2016, so it's not too new, but that's all I could find. I looked on the back of the shelf and they didn't have any older ones. My hair is messed up. I washed my hair, but when I wash my hair, it gets wild. Oh man, I hope it doesn't start raining hard. I have my windows open. I might have to get up and shut windows. Looks like it's going to be a rainy week, but at least it's warm. Who's never had this before? Well, I know Williams never had it because he never could get it.
Based on what they told me, they made the decision here to carry the Picante as a third one. They had the standard ones in each Bud Light and Bud Regular, and they thought the Picante was more popular in this area, wouldn't reach a larger demographic, so that's the reason they carried it instead of this one.
Okay, and the Brew Dude, you get that common, fairly common. We get it common here at like gas stations. We get all four. We get the Bud Light and the Budweiser Clamato Chelada in the tall cans and in 6-packs of the 12-ounce cans. Maybe pint cans. I don't recall seeing that, and I don't recall seeing 12-packs. And then we get the tall cans singles of the Picante and this one, the Extra Lime, but I don't know of any other configurations. So I'm going to open mine up. You've had it before though, right, Jose?
Yeah, I had this one. I haven't had it as common as like regular as the other ones, but yeah, I've had it a few times.
So Jose he's out there in Los Angeles County. William is out there in the sort of like the Piedmont region.
Yeah, that's the Piedmont. Greensboro, Winston-Salem, central part of the state.
Okay, and I'm in the Gulf Coast of Louisiana. Now you're close to the fall line, huh? In North Carolina, you're close to the fall line?
What do you mean by the
fall line is like where all there's like a line that runs from Maine all the way down to Florida, maybe.
Yeah.
Where all the rivers go over the falls.
Yeah.
They call it the fall line. I've seen it on maps. Oh, well. But I know the Piedmont is like the hilly area between the flatlands and the mountains.
Yeah, we have a lot of topography in the state.
That's right. And your state goes so far west. I mean,
it's wide east to west, but it's not very tall. So we can take one-day trips either to the mountains or the coast.
Right.
So it's pretty convenient that way. Here's what I have.
Mixed tail. Now describe that one. I think they're getting rid of that line of product.
It is being. This is the Long Island tea version.
Okay.
240 calories for a 12-ounce can. So this is a 16-ounce can, so this would be 320 calories. So this might be a meal in a can. It's
Yeah, I remember when the mixtail came out. I thought it was odd. I never bought it.
It's 8% alcohol.
Yeah, just like the Aritas, but I don't think it ever caught on for whatever reason. Okay, I'm getting some interesting notices here tonight. First notice, the YouTube app will no longer work after April 25th. Then another notice that just came up, the Google Effects app will no longer work after April 25th, 2017. Now I'm trying to figure out what that's all about.
Is it the apps attached to the Hangouts? Or like the actual, because Hangouts has these apps where we can watch a YouTube video together, and then we have Google Effects so that we can add little effects to our.
Yeah, I'm assuming, I'm not quite sure, but I'm not sure.
The thing is, I mean, if they discontinue the actual YouTube app, like just the one that you can just watch, that's a little crazy.
That's what it says. So that means I wouldn't be able to answer live comments?
No, live comments should be fine. It's just like in here, like right now, because if we go, well, I mean, we can talk about it later, but we can add apps to the left, and there's a YouTube one in there that you can we can watch the actual video together.
I see.
As a group.
Oh well. What in the hell? Oh, excuse my language. What in the heck is going on? All right. Oh, I see what's going on.
I'm getting some interesting sense out of this extra lime.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to let William talk about the soon to depart this planet mixtail Long Island iced tea. And I saw an interesting hard liquor at Walmart last month called Seagram's iced tea. what it is Seagram's vodka mixed with iced tea, sweet tea. I said, well,
I've had it.
That's a good thing to get somebody into problem drinking, I think. You've had that Seagram's iced tea?
Yeah, man. It's exactly what you said. It's one of those problems. You know, you put a little lime in a glass, you throw some ice cubes in there and pour that in there. Next thing you know it, you're waking up the next day trying to figure out what happened.
I never had the Seagram's vodka, but I know there's I think a specialty vodka, but I've had the Seagram's gin, you know, the famous one, the extra dry, and I had the Seagram's Distiller's Reserve gin, which I really was impressed with. My daughter said it was the best gin she ever had. She's sort of like a gin person. But anyway, back to this. Okay, the brew dude, you have the floor.
Well, just really quick, just the appearance of this. I'm getting mine a little lighter, a little less opaque than the other ones.
Yeah.
A little more lights kind of passing through. It is the Bud Light version, so it's obviously that maybe the beer and the Clamato is kind of just watered down just a little bit more. Effervescent, just like the other one, not as much head. Initially there was, but not now. I do have a lot of pulp, just still gathering in the rim of my glass. So the appearance, like I said, it's like the Bud Light Clamato. And that's really it. The aromas are a little bit different, but I'll let you go ahead and see if maybe we see the same thing in the appearance.
I think it is a little lighter, but it is a lighter beer. But the aroma, I'm saying maybe it's got more lime, but I know what I'm drinking. If I didn't know this was the extra lime, I don't know if I'd be saying that.
Yeah, I smell
maybe
a lot of us like Hispanic candy. Sometimes they use that artificial lime citric acid powder to make stuff sour. Like this like powder that they use. I'm not sure, but it's like a sour smell and almost gives it like artificial lime. That's kind of what I'm getting. I'm not getting a natural zesty lime. I'm getting more of an artificial lime smell.
And I'm not sure I'm familiar with what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like a sour head candy, like the sour head candy. The outside, that's like some type of
yeah, well, I'm
like
familiar with
artificial sour thing. Artificial sour taste.
Well, at least they admitted that it's artificial stuff. Okay, so it's got the clam broth. All right, let me go with the flavor. Oh, I'm going with the flavor. I didn't talk about the aroma. All right, but it's similar to what you're saying. You know, the tomato juice, the beer, perhaps some lime, some. If you drink this and you think you're going to pick up seafood aroma and flavor, I'm not sure you're going to really pick that up. It's hidden. It may be there in a shadowy way, but I don't think it's there, and certainly in any kind of overt way.
Yeah.
And then, William, what about the aroma of your item?
Ginger.
Ginger.
Strong ginger. That's the first thing I picked up immediately. I did an aggressive waterfall pour, and I got a decent head, but it dissipated right before my eyes immediately. I've never seen that before, where it just went down immediately. But it left behind a lot of fizzy carbonation bubbles, and it is highly carbonated.
Yeah.
Very prickly.
And at 8%, it's a knockout beer.
Yeah, it's a party time in a can.
Oh.
But flavor-wise, I kind of like it, actually. It's naturally very sweet. It almost tastes sort of like a melted creamsicle, popsicle.
Wow.
You get the citrus and the vanilla together. And maybe it's just me, but growing up and living in the South all my life, one of the staple drinks we have here is sweet tea.
Yeah.
The emphasis is on sweet. It's packed with sugar.
Yeah, you're right.
I might not find some of these products quite as disgusting as some people, cause I may be predisposed or more tolerant of sweet drinks. But I think it's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, sweet tea. You get that at all the restaurants, and then people will drink a RC cola and eat a moon pie with it.
Oh, that's a staple lunch.
That's a sugar bomb. Now, I'm going to look at some of the comments real fast.
While you're doing that, I want to really quick just kind of add a little comment to what flavor I'm getting. I don't know about you, Ron, but it almost feels like there's a splash of like a 7-Up inside of this, or a Sprite.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's
those are like lime-ish type things, huh?
Yeah, that artificial lime. It feels like they just put a splash of like Sprite in here, or 7-Up or something like that.
Yeah, I knew there was something odd about it.
This has an amber color. It looks like Scotch. It really looks. It looks like Scotch.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, looks like I've never had Scotch. It looks like whiskey, I guess.
That's a conversation we should have after Jay about Scotch and stuff.
I have a lot to learn. Hey, but I'll be the first to admit it. Hey, what's up? YouTube says yo yo yo. I'm glad. And then Urban Artifact, Justin. That's Justin. He says hello. Eric, a Lions fan, says hi guys. Bill McIntosh says hi Eric. Daryl E says hi y'all. Cheers. And then Eric says what's up, Bill. Bill's watching because he couldn't find the dang product. And then there's a bunch of more back and forth banter. And then what's up, YouTube says, I love the buzz and love you, Ron, and the crew. My two faves in the beer world, and yes, they need to start putting a bottled on date even with the macro lagers. Don't look for it. They're all going to Best Buy dates, I'm afraid. Well, I want to get into the flavor a little bit. So I'm going to go shut these windows because I don't trust the way this rain is doing here. It was feeling nice, but, oh, it's being a little too semi-tropical here in January. Okay.
Yeah, we're getting the same thing out here, though. With the rain, man, it's been like we're getting these, I don't know, it's this random storm that's just been on top of us for about a week and a half now, which is rare. We don't get a lot of rain out here.
I just got 7 inches of snow.
Nice.
And for 90 straight hours, the temperature was freezing or below. A couple of nights, it was in the single digits. So we've had Minnesota weather in North Carolina but today, you know, it's cleared up, and tomorrow's supposed to be in the 60s. It's sort of schizophrenic here for wintertime. We get a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Very, very bipolar temperature, I see.
It is. It can swing rapidly.
Yeah. Like I said, we don't usually get a lot of rain, but right now we've been, you know, after a while, when you go so long without rain and then you get a nice hard rain, I mean, your windshield wipers, your roof is dried up, your soil is packed in that doesn't absorb. So the streets are flooding. The sewers are just like filling up, and they're with trash or grass or whatever. I mean,
in your area, have you seen these mixed tails in the stores?
You have the bottle or can there? Can I see it?
I've seen them. I remember the day they came out. I might have to go buy them just to say, let me try them. And I might go along with your, I might go along with your farewell video, William, about the ice house, you know. Okay, what now?
I think I've seen them. No, we were just talking about rain. That's really it. We've been getting some like very patchy, rainy, hard, soft. I mean, it's very rare right now, but we're getting it.
Yeah, I got down to 24 here. It was pretty cold, 24. Last year, it only got down to 31 degrees the whole winter, and that was for about 4 hours. So we had 2 days of hard freeze.
Alex Rayos on the chat says, Sol plus Clamato is the best of them all.
Oh, I don't know about if it's better than the Tecate Michelada, but it sure is good. And I bought that Sol and Clamato when I was in, I think I bought that in Matamoros at like a 7-Eleven type place. I had to wait around because I went in there and that lady was saying, I couldn't understand in Spanish, but she was saying something. And then I said, oh, you mean you don't open, you can't sell beer till 10 o'clock. See, she said, right. I said, okay. And then I found some Superior when I was in Piedras Negras, but I couldn't buy it at all because they were closed they would not sell beer on Sunday, which was disgusting to me. But seriously. But I came back with a lot of beer from Mexico, and then they stopped. Look at this man here. And then they stopped me at the border and wanted to know why I was bringing beer in the country and everything, and it was a big hassle. But I've told that story already. You got it, boy.
So kind of just back to this flavor of this one. Like I said,
wait. I see they put a can out for a purpose. Don't tempt us with that can and then don't comment on it.
Well, the reason I brought it up because Alex Rayos right there, he said the Sol. I just wanted to let him know, hey, I know what you mean. I got it right here. It's a lower ABV on this one. It actually tells you the ABV on here. It's I saw it earlier, but it was like 2 point something.
Before you start talking about that taste, one more thing. When I was down in Mexico, I think I also bought a Dos Equis Clamato. I have to look up my records. And I bought a Dos Equis Radler. It was like Dos Equis, Radler. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, no. It's a 2.5%.
Yeah, it's real low ABV.
Low ABV, and it's very lemony, very, very acidic, you know, compared to these other ones. But just back to this one here, there's something about the flavor that's kind of deterring me a little bit. It's just, and I think that's where I'm tying it. It feels like they put Clamato, they put a beer, they put some 7-Up or Sprite in it.
Yeah.
Which kind of gives me that, it's a little sweeter than the other ones, I feel, because of that. I think that extra lime flavor, and they are saying it's just the flavor that they're adding. So they're not obviously adding probably too much other real lime or lime zest, more of just a flavor, which is probably the similar syrup that they use with like 7-Up or Sprite or some type of lemon soda.
Yeah,
lime soda. Lime soda.
Yeah, lime flavor. Well, it's not bad in my opinion, but it's probably the least. It's probably my least favorite of the Budweiser / Bud Light line. It's not as good as the Modelo, and it's definitely, well, none of them could stand up to the Tecate Michelada. But oh, one more thing about Tecate. You ever seen that Tecate Titanium?
I haven't seen that here. I do see the Tecate Light, but
yeah,
I have not seen
Tecate Titanium. It's in a black and silver can, and it's 5.5% alcohol. It's sort of like the Tecate malt liquor. It's a 5.5% alcohol, but it's only sold in Mexico. And I bought a 6-pack of it when I was down there, and I knew I'd never see it again, so I picked it up. But if you, I know you have contacts that go into Baja California del Norte, right?
Yeah, on a regular. So I'm gonna make sure that's on the list of a must bring back.
Oh yeah.
So I can try it. Plus, right now they go a lot by the Tecate Brewery right there. So
yeah.
In Tecate, Mexico. So
I went to Tecate, Mexico, and I was there the day that Mexico lost the World Cup, and the people were so depressed. It was 2006, and they had this huge television screen in the park, the central square of Tecate, and as soon as I got there, that's when everybody was walking away with their heads down because Mexico had lost. But it was an interesting city to walk around in. It's a small city.
Yeah, it's tiny for sure.
More like a big town than a city. Okay, so I'm going to go get the rest of my can. I think the salt component helps the beer. It does have enough salt to balance out that like Sprite thing that's not too attractive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. Some people might like it. I don't dislike it. I don't hate it.
I just even the availability. I'm seeing more of the tradition, the Bud Light Clamato, and then the Budweiser Clamato more than I see this.
I'm kind of liking this. I really do.
What is it? You said it's 8%, right? You said.
Yeah.
You may not like.
Oh yeah.
You may not like tomorrow morning. Hey, no, 1 can of that 8% is not going to be a problem. But
I paid $1.09 for this.
That's a good price.
And it was brewed in I think it's Cartersville, Georgia. So it didn't come from St. Louis like a lot of these cocktails.
The problem with those kind of 8% beers is they got all that sugar. So if you drink too much, it's going to make you sick just from that. And then people do stupid things like drink 3 of them in one night. And then the next day they say, oh, it feels so bad. I have such a hangover. Well, heck. Why did you drink that? You know what it is. I think it's designed to drink just one.
There is some beers that, because when they raise that alcohol content, there's 2 ways you can do it. You add extra malt, or you add these adjunct sugars or corns, or
yeah.
And once you do that, you're just adding that much more.
With this, I also saw an 8-pack.
You're right.
8-pack of 11.5 ounce bottles. Excuse me, the screw-on bottles.
I think I actually saw the mixed tail in bottle form though somewhere, like the brown bottles. But I didn't pay much mind to it because I said I'm never going to buy this anyway. I don't like that kind of stuff. I mean, people are always forever begging me to do it, and I'm being hard about it. They're like, why are you so oppositional about it? You could do the mixed tail. You could do all these Seagram's Escapes. You could do, I don't know, what's the other company that makes all of those flavored beers?
Let's see.
Miller makes the Wicked Ales.
Those Smirnoffs and stuff like that?
Yeah. Smirnoff. And the Wicked, yeah, and they got Colt 45 Blast. But the problem is I don't want to review them.
Yeah.
Because I can't stand them. And it was like I waste 30 minutes of my life reviewing something that I can't stomach. So I don't know. I think it's best to avoid it.
You know, I started trying. I ended up trying this one called Schofferhofer.
Oh yeah, from Germany.
That Hefeweizen grapefruit beer, which surprisingly, and like I said, I'm kind of with you. I don't do those Limeritas, even though I do try them and I've reviewed a few of them. They're just very cloyingly sweet. I have to add like my whole glass full of ice and then dump that in there and let it sit and then add more ice. But that Schofferhofer is actually it's pretty balanced, man. You still have that beer Hefeweizen flavor with that nice grapefruit twist to it.
Well,
it's not
you know what? I drove in my car to the Bronx, New York, 2 years ago in June. It'll be 2 years in June. And I met up with Giant Space Monkey and Michael Komarov, who joins us sometimes. And we drank a lot of beers at his house. Well, anyway, I did a lot of beer shopping, of course. You know, I'm not just going to drive up there and not endlessly look for beer. You know that. So around the corner from the Howard Johnson's Express Inn, which, by the way, has outstanding prices, free parking and free breakfast in New York City. I've stayed there 3 different times. I went around the corner and they had that one you're talking about, that Schofferhofer, but they had the regular one. They had the regular wheat beer without the flavoring, which apparently is a lot rarer than that grapefruit one. So I said, I got to get it. So I bought a bottle, and then me and myself and one of the beer, he's not really he doesn't do video reviews, but he did drink some stuff with me on video. His name is Sharif, and he said, oh, he was impressed with it, you know. So when you mentioned that, it made me think of the Bronx.
There you go.
Oh, and people, if you go to the Bronx, you can get a lot of Ballantine ale. They have like every bottle and can configuration you can think of over there. You can go to other parts of New York City and you'll never see it. Like if you go to Manhattan, I didn't see Ballantine except when I went to Flair Beverages in Upper Manhattan. I don't recall seeing it in Queens or Brooklyn, but the Bronx, why this is the case, I do not know. But I walked in all these corner stores. They had 40-ounce bottles, 22-ounce bottles, of course, 12-ounce bottles and cans, pint cans of Ballantine. And I have to say this. I think Ballantine Ale is one of the best tasting macro beers that you can get your hands on. Okay, enough pontificating. But I really do think that if you ever see a Ballantine Ale, and not to mention it's like the oldest beer brand in America. They've been making it since let me repeat this. Since 1840. Since 1840, Peter Ballantine. And it started in Newark, New Jersey, interestingly enough.
Ballantine was a longtime sponsor for the New York Yankees. That was the beer of the Yankees.
Yes, and they had a whole line of beers. They did not just make the ale. Yes, they made the ale, but they made a regular lager. They made an India Pale Ale. They made the Burton Ale, which is the 11% barley wine style beer that will knock you out. I bought a 6-pack of that in Rochester, Ithaca, New York last year. So Ballantine was an extremely interesting company, but they went out of business. Well, they got bought out by Falstaff, who was bought out by Pabst. Anyway.
When the Yankees hit a home run, Mel Allen called it a Ballantine blast. The legendary announcer for the Yankees.
Yeah. 50 years ago, Ballantine was a major brand. Today, it's almost an afterthought, except for the Bronx. For whatever reason, it's a major beer up there. I mean, it was just everywhere. But back to this. This is not a major brand, but it has potential to be. Well, I'm talking about the whole line is kind of major now. The whole Clamato is really popular around here. And I think in all the areas that have, like Jose was saying, Hispanic people, because, or especially Mexican heritage, people with Mexican heritage, they like to drink these on a Sunday morning after they went out on Saturday night and were too exuberant, right?
That's right. That's the morning. It's like I said, it's like the hair of the dog, they call it, you know. Well, we don't call it that, but people call it when they, you know, to kind of relax the next day, have another beer. But this is kind of like that elixir to, but we mix it on our own, like you said, you know, a little Clamato, a little tomato juice, whatever you add, whatever you like to it, and drink it.
Now I'm going to read a few more comments, and then I'm not going to read any more because I don't want to get caught up in that. That doesn't sound too good. Okay, let's see. William, get ready for 50-degree weather. Jay, have you ever had molasses whiskey? No, I have not. This is what Renz82 says. I've had molasses cookies. It's been 40 plus, very unseasonable weather. Should be the coldest time of the year. Hey, it was 74 degrees today over here, and I'm not complaining. It could be 80 tomorrow. So, okay, Alex, I got it. Let's see. I never tried the soul version. Try it if you can find it. All of a sudden, I want fajitas, says Daryl. Why are you guys torturing yourselves with that? I'm going to edit some of the comments. Why are you guys torturing yourselves with that stuff? Hey, we're not being tortured. I'm enjoying it, in fact. How much Clamato to beer? Good question. I don't know the answer. Now the brew dude says I usually do 75-25 beer and Clamato. Okay. Miller Lite and Clamato. You can do that next week, Eric, because next week is make your own Chelada. Bill says he's been working on his own and they've been terrible, awful. Now, Bill, it's time for you to join us again. I'm going to get off the comments. So sorry, folks. Can't just get caught up in the comments, but Bill's supposed to return. Oh, it says barley malt and cereals. We know what that means. Corn syrup. Well, corn syrup's from a cereal, corn.
Yep.
That's because it's government subsidized, you see. But we don't want to get into that scam.
You mean the corn lobby?
Yeah, I don't want to be shot and killed tonight. So I won't mention that atrocious scam, not to mention milk. Anyway, okay, Bill, you are back. Okay, last comment on the, and then I'm going to go to the mixtail and then back to Bill. Last comment on the Bud Light and Clamato extra lime, or, you know, it's all right. It's my least favorite of all of these.
Okay.
But I don't hate it. It's not terrible. It's probably something you would enjoy. I would prefer the Picante 9 times out of 9 times. Would I buy this again? No, because I would just grab the Picante. So why would I buy it?
I think this is like, since we're doing kind of like that last manufactured one, what would be your order?
Oh,
in the
that's easy. That's easy. That's easy. Number 1, Tecate Michelada. There's no contest there. Number 2, Budweiser and Clamato Chelada Picante. Number 3, Budweiser and Clamato Chelada. Number 4, Bud Light and Clamato Chelada. Number 5, wait, I gotta adjust this. I will in a moment. Number 5, Bud Light and Clamato Chelada y Limon. But it's actually number 6, because number 2 would be the Modelo Chelada. That's the number 2. Okay.
Ooh, wow.
That was good. That was good. Yeah, I would agree too. My number 1 is the Tecate Diablo. That was just
Diablo.
That was phenomenal, man. That one was just, it had that herbness, you know, that green flavor that was just, that just took it out of the park. And then the one after that is, I would agree with the Budweiser Clamato Picante, and then the Budweiser Clamato, Bud Light Clamato, and then the extra limon as well.
Yeah.
Something about this one, it just has that extra. I feel like they use that same lime syrup as in 7-Up that just makes it a little, you know. But you're right, the salt balances it out.
Yes, and my interest
But-
these days in drinking soft drinks is it stands at absolutely 0. I cannot stand to drink a Dr. Pepper, Coke, Pepsi, none of that anymore. I've turned my back on that stuff. Now I see why I've been feeling bad. I see why I felt bad for my whole life. Ever since I stopped drinking soft drinks and started drinking beer, I feel a lot better. True story is the truth.
Of the 4 I tried of the 6 that were available, I would go Picante, Budweiser, Modelo, and Bud Light.
Oh, so you got Modelo below the Budweiser. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, we did Modelo Chelada. Oh, I forgot about that one, huh?
That's why I put it number 2.
Yeah, I forgot that we did the Modelo Chelada. Man, you know what? The Modelo Michelada, I have to put it under the. I'm gonna actually put it after the Bud Light Clamato. Before the Bud Light Clamato, after the Budweiser Clamatos.
That's the, yeah.
Oh, we cannot be friends. Hey,
I got this one.
ooh, I love that. I love that. I love that. Hey,
I'm jealous.
William, your final thoughts on the mixed tail Long Island iced tea?
I'm glad I tried it. The coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets, John Tortorelli, has a saying, said, "Safe is death. Take chances. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. Venture out of your comfort zone." You know, whatever expression you want to use. I'm glad I tried it. I would have one again. I didn't find it offensive, disgusting, or anything. I just liked it. You know, maybe that's so. I'll stick by it.
You don't have to apologize for liking something. Bill, now you're going to give us a report. You tried to work on something. How did it come out?
Man, they are terrible. You want to talk about, some of these guys talk about, why are you putting yourself through this? You make me want to vomit kind of deal. Well, I tell you what, it turns out that the recipes for these are really, really sensitive to the quantities, right?
Yeah.
So if you get some of these things wrong, you can really make something that tastes god awful.
Are you trying to say that wait, where's this echo coming from? Are you trying to say that sometimes big corporate companies can make good stuff and that people at home aren't as good at doing it? I mean, what are you trying to say here on the internet?
I'm just trying to say that when you venture out into this world of making your own, you do it with some caution.
I'm being devil's advocate because obviously the company like Anheuser-Busch or Grupo Modelo or I'm going to say it wrong and Jose is going to get angry and I'm sorry. Huatamak Moctezuma.
That was close, man. That was right there.
They are not throwing it together with no thought. They are sitting down and working on this and perfecting it to a T. But they got a huge R&D staff, So, I mean, whatever you want to think about, about business, these guys do not just throw stuff together. I went on a brewery tour and I paid money to go on this brewery tour in Houston, Texas 2 years ago. And I saw on that 2-hour tour that these people are not playing games over there.
Yeah, and I would agree with the general consensus in that I didn't have an opportunity to test or review the Tecate, but I would put the Budweiser Clamato Picante at the top of the list of those that I sampled.
Yeah.
Right behind that's the regular Budweiser, and then I'd go with the Modelo in third, and the Bud Light Clamato bringing up the rear.
Okay. So you like the more full-bodied beers? What you're trying to say?
And that little sort of spicy pop in the Budweiser Picante, like when we talked about when we reviewed it. There's not a lot of difference between that one and the regular Budweiser, but there is just that little sort of spicy pop that kind of stays with you. that I happen to like.
What do you have on Bill? What do you have on the rim of that glass there?
That is tagine.
What? Tagine.
Okay.
What is tagine?
It's a little fruit powder, right? Like a little chili fruit powder, like so you can add it to fruit and like.
That's right. It's powdered chilies, salt, and dehydrated lime.
But it tastes terrible is what you're trying to tell us. You don't want to enjoy it.
Not that in particular, but yeah, I mean, I got all kinds of stuff on the rim and floating in here, and I got all kinds of particles in here, and it's just I gotta tone it back a little bit, I think.
Okay. Well, look, for my make your own chelada next week, I'm gonna tell you beforehand what I'm gonna do, because that's just what I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna take some tomato juice that I bought at Walmart, and I'm going to mix it with the Firestone Walker 805 blonde ale, and then I'm going to put some black pepper in it and some Dave's Insanity sauce, and I might cut up some yellow onions and put it in, just a few. Now in my mind it's going to be okay, because I'm taking a really high quality beer, not necessarily high quality tomato juice, but I don't know. I got a feeling it's going to be all right. I'm not going to get too exotic with it, but I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm not going to put any seafood broth though. I'm going to tell you that right now. Although I could eat some clam chowder with it, I could do that, but I don't eat a lot at night. Anyway, so Bud Light, Clamato, Chelada, extra lime, it's all right. If you see it, it's worth trying. I'm not going to sit here and tell you don't try it. Oh no, it's worth trying. I would say earthquake, high gravity, 10% is worth trying. It's an atrocity of mankind, but it's worth trying.
Since you're revealing a little bit about next week, I'm just going to bring it out just a little bit. My motivation for next week is keeping exactly how I used to do it when on my Sundays, eating seafood, mariscos. Bring out the Corona Extra, right? A nice Stein mug or something. Drop some cubes in there, some just thick kosher salt, a little black pepper, some lime zest, and some lime pulp, and just drop the whole lime in there. A little tapatio. Pour your Corona and tomato juice inside. Just
that sounds really interesting. That sounds very interesting. I can't wait. I wish we could do it tonight, but we gotta wait a week. Hey, let's see what I was gonna say. Oh, just as a heads up, in about a month, we have this series starting. Dave Coulter was talking to me off air, and he was saying, "What are y'all doing? Examinations coming up?" And I was telling him about these Clamatos, and he was like, "Oh, I don't think I'm gonna join." And I understand that. And then I told him, I said, "I'm running out of ideas. I don't know what to do." And then I thought of it. It hit me like a diamond bullet in the forehead. I said, "Oh, what about those Walmart craft style beers from Trouble Brewing, which is really Genesee Brewing in New York, Rochester?" I saw it at the Walmart 38 miles from here. It's about $12 a 12 pack. And they've got a pale ale, a red ale, I think an IPA and something else. So if you can get those, join us. And I think they're only in cans, but we're going to look at that in about a month. You know what I'm talking about?
I've heard of them.
I bought those down in Florida City at Walmart in Florida City, and I did video reviews down there at some of the hotels I was staying at. Although I had to delete. Oh yeah, I deleted those because I was drinking. Well, anyway, that's another story. But anyway, I did do videos when I got back home, and that worked out really well. But I mean, I was on vacation, so I wasn't being as careful as I would be at home. But the content wasn't as succinct as it could have been. Leave it at that. It's sad though. It's sad though, because I had found some really interesting European imports from Eastern Europe, and I made the videos, and they were fabulous beers. I mean, fabulous beers. But I watched the replay and I said, nah, I'll just delete it.
Well, yeah, hopefully you still did some written reviews on them.
Definitely did written reviews on Beer Advocate and Rate Beer, because that won't portray the more vacation lifestyle
Condition.
The condition. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but I did the written reviews, and I was thinking that I was laying down in the bed at the hotel. I was like, well, at least I wrote the written reviews. But anyway, all right. So
hotel with the spinning beds, Ronald?
Nah. No, that was a really great trip because I got to see fabulous national wildlife refuges and go all the way to Key West, Florida. I drove all the way to Key West for the second time and got to see 3 Major League Baseball games, the Marlins and the Rays. So, I mean, it was really good. I mean, everything was really good. I mean, everything was good. Except, you know, I mean, I did videos, and then sometimes you do videos and you delete them. I'm going to show you something real fast. This is coming up tomorrow, people. I think I'm going to post this tomorrow, perhaps, but at least in 3 days. It's yeah, it's wine. It's Marsala wine. But there's this guy. He came to America. He was born in 1859, and his name was Beniamino Crabari. And his family, the Crabari family, still produces wine in California. And this is Marsala. So I'm going to look at that. I was shocked to find it. And then when I saw Crabari, I said, what does this mean? So I had to do the research, and it was fascinating, you know. But anyway, any last thoughts? My last thought is this is an all right beer. I wouldn't recommend it, but I would say don't avoid it, you know. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really it as well.
Plus, at such a low alcohol by volume, you could slug down the whole 25 ounces, and you could keep the video. You wouldn't look at it, the video, and say, oh, no, I got to get rid of the video.
People don't know what they like. They like what they know.
Right. They like what they know. You talk about the worst case scenario. I'll say this real fast, Jose. About 4 years ago, I did a video for Double Bastard. Stone Double Bastard. And I was eating this fried chicken. And that beer is so strong. It's like 11% alcohol. And I drank this 22 ounce. And I was like, after I woke up later on, I was like, this thing is not going on the internet.
Yeah, malty too. It's very malty. It's just.
It was so malty, you know. Oh wow, it was a fabulous product.
That's like a barley wine. What it is.
Oh, good grief! And another one that I think rivals it, although it's very different, is the Double Old Thumper. That's sort of like the East Coast rival of Double Bastard. Anyway, any last thoughts on this? We've been going on forever. We're just hanging out talking about beer. Oh, well. Not that important.
I think that's it, man.
That's it.
I think we covered it all, and it's a good ending for that the Clamato tomato beer series. Tomorrow, next week, the last abstract one, but I think we did good.
Yeah, next week is it. Next week is make your own Chelada. I think in the later part of 2017, William was talking to me about this. Maybe perhaps we can revisit some of the legacy beers. It's been a good while now. It seems like people never get bored of talking about those legacy beers, you know. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I'm always game for that kind of stuff. The problem with craft beer, we want to do craft beer all the time. So we'll find a really good craft beer. Oh, let's do this. Then nobody can find it. And they're frustrated because they want to join, but they can't find the dang thing. Yeah, I see that Ice House in your hand.
6.9, 6.9.
After an
Brand
8%,
new.
you're having a wonderful night for sure.
needs something to wash that mixed tail down, I guess. No.
Yeah, I'll be drinking water. Hey, that 6.9, I cannot get it yet, but I know it's on the way. I just know it's on the way. So, all right, folks. Well, next week we have an exciting, or some people might roll their eyes and say, yeah, right, give me a break. Well, whatever, however you feel about it, make your own chelada for good or ill.